Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Good Deeds Live. I am your host. I am Dr. Renee Sunday, and I am the platform builder. I want to just stop just real quickly to let you know we thank you, and we thank you. We thank you for your support. We thank you for your downloads of our iTunes. We thank you for being a subscriber actually on YouTube. We thank you for going to, guess what, our website and our social media pages. We just thank you because you believe in us. And guess what? You know I believe in you because the thing about it is, what we do here at Good Deeds, we help you shine your light to the world. And people say, Dr. Sunday, what are you talking about, that light? Your light is your passion, your dreams, your goals, the things that keep you up at night, the things that you can't go to sleep because you're thinking about. You close your eyes right now, as long as you're not driving, right? You will say, I can see me being a speaker. I can see me changing lives. I can see myself being an influencer, philanthropy, that we can help somebody else. Because if you didn't know, I'm here to let you know that your purpose is not for you. Hopefully no one got an aha on that, like Arsenio Hall. The thing is, your purpose, the things that you've gone through, yes, it has made you better. But guess what? Your purpose is for someone else. Somebody right now is stressing out. Somebody right now is praying. Somebody right now is wanting their pain to go away. And guess what? You have the answer. You have the antidote. You know when you get bit by a spider or sometimes even a snake, and let me just to be real, when you get your flu shot, guess what? That's a live virus, okay? So you are antidote. You are the vaccine, the flu shot for somebody else. Oh, my Lord. There you go. But you know I can go on in, but that's my team telling me to behave. But I'm just so excited today to be here with you. It may be the day, the afternoon, the evening, depending on where you are, if you listen live or if you listen to the archive. We just want to thank you so much for your support. But, you know, you got to shine that light. My team is actually, you know what they're doing, right? They handed me the question. You know, if you have a question for Dr. Renee, you know, you can email us through our website, which is reneesunday.com. And guess what we do right there? You can ask your question. We're going to answer it online, but guess what? On the live broadcast. But guess what we're going to do? We're going to give you a call, and we're going to discuss it, right? Because we have to have an answer to a situation, right? We cannot be in a difficult situation. We have to have a solution, right? And if I'm not the solution, you know I love my friend Google, and we're going to find someone that's going to help you out, okay? Because we can't, you know what I'm about to say. Don't stop. We got to get it, right? And we got to get our purpose. We got to get our purpose now, right? So the question is, you know, the reason we do that, you know, three things I told you. I'm going to show love and compassion, right? The other thing is I'm going to be authentic and, you know, I'm going to be consistent. So they like, it's actually for business owners. Let me just tell you something for a second. This is actually a great thing that we do it. The questions I hadn't seen them before. My team actually picked them. I like that because I don't know if you guys realize I was in this beauty pageant not too long ago, and I represented Conyers, Georgia, right? And the pageant was amazing. But guess what? You don't know them questions they're going to ask you, right? And let me tell you, when you actually on different radio shows, TV shows, sometimes they may give you the question, sometimes they don't. So I like this. It's a practice for me, so thank you. And then also when I'm actually as a speaker, people are going to ask you questions that you need to know how to answer the question, and you need to answer it in the right, appropriate way. But anyway, the question. Dr. Sunday, we see you have a lot of businesses. I'm paraphrasing, and so that is true. And they said, what advice? And actually, let me rephrase. I'm reading them further. What advice someone gave you that ended up being not so good or the worst advice that I ever received? Well, let me see this quickly. I guess the first thing, kind of just like what I just said, right, is being authentic. You know, you have to be real careful of whoever's your coach and your mentor. It's okay to get the skill set from them. It's okay to get the tools and the different ways of doing things, but you have to keep your own authenticity, right? I have to be who I am. Lisa Nichols, I love her dearly. I love Lord Parker dearly, but I have to be Dr. Renee Sunday, okay? So you have to be your own self. You see what I'm saying? So that's the first thing, and then I'm going to add a bonus to that. I think the next thing is, that all money is good money. The best power thing you can learn as a business owner, as a person in general, is when to say no. You got to know when to say no. You know, I get emails a lot about speaking here, speaking there. You know, I'm also a minister, ordained minister, you know, even that. But I do what God tells me to do. Because you don't know. You need to be, you know, anyway. Just like, yes, you have to protect your brand, and you have to go where you're going to be an asset, right, that you're going to help solve a problem. I'm not throwing shade. Let me throw that out there of nobody's brand. But, you know, some brands you fit in and some you don't, right? And then that's why I tell people if they want to be on the local and the national TV radio platform, you need to know what they stand for, because you don't want to be on a sports show and you want to talk about your pet. Okay, let me stop. Okay, but if you have a question for Dr. Renee, send it to our website. Again, it's reneesunday.com. What we're going to do real quick, we're going to do our premium sponsor, this drop, and then we're going to come back. We got the amazing young lady with us. And that's why I said, you know my team always set me up, right? We have the amazing world changer herself, Miss Kim Roderick. She is a business success. Wait a minute. See how they set me up? Business success and transformation, you're going to be transformed, right, coach. She actually going to share some wisdom and knowledge and let us know what things she has going on. But we're going to actually take a quick little break. You know, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday.
This is John Schamberger, founder and CEO of Millionaires Trainings Only. We are proud to support and listen to Good Deeds Live every Mondays and Thursday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time with your host, the platform builder, Dr. Renee Sunday. So remember, wherever your mind can conceive and believe in your purpose, it can achieve. And don't stop. Get it, get it.
You better don't stop. You better get it. And we got to get our purpose now. But we want to welcome the Good Deeds. She's going to empower us, motivate us. But you know what she's going to do? She's going to give you that root, that key that you can actually walk in your purpose and do the things that you need to do in your business and be a real business, not an expensive hobby. Woo, I know that was an out for somebody right there. Amen, because I've been there, okay? All right. We want to welcome none other than Kim Roderick. Hey, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Dr.
Welcome
Renee.
To Hi.
Thank you so much. I am so excited.
Thank
you so much for having
me. To be here. But, tell us a little bit more about yourself and you're just changing the world. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself and the amazing things that's going on in your life.
Oh, well, I love that. That was an awesome introduction, world changer, adding that to my name. It's so funny and exciting. It feels funny. But I'm really, really excited to be here. As you know, my name is Kim Roderick. I am a business strategist, transformational business strategist. But before I get caught up in that title, I want to just tell you a little bit about my background and how I got started. So, I did come from corporate America. I used to be a corporate trainer. My job ended back in 2012, so I just fell in that number where a company just did a little restructuring, and our particular department was downsized and moved to another state. So we only had two choices at that time, and that was either, you just take a package and move on with the company, or you stay where you are and just kind of go back to the beginning. So with me having about 12 to 13 years in, starting over just wasn't an option for me. So that was really the beginning of a journey for me as far as starting over and what I really, really wanted to do. And I really started training and didn't realize it's something that I would fall in love with. And I fell in love with teaching and, training my own material and things like that. So I wanted to go into teaching. So I'm just kind of fast forwarding. I went in, started taking the test, getting prepared. missed the test by about 2 points. Took it again and missed it about 3 points. So I said, wait a minute, let me just kind of sit back and think about some things that I really want to do. And this journey began. So I started working with a nonprofit organization, started being around a lot of city officials, mayors, business owners, and things like that. And I just kind of gravitated to everything that they were doing. And I started helping them with ways to get visible, make some more money, and things like that. And I just started inhaling all of this business knowledge, being around all of these people. And the ideas that I gave them actually worked. So I just said, wow, this is, I have something here, so I'm on to something. So just marrying my teacher background skills, working in corporate, and taking the information that I knew was working for people who were already in business, doing this longer than I was, I just started really pushing and honing in on what I really wanted to do and take that to another level in business. It wasn't until about 2 years later that I really started, kind of honing in on my sweet spot, which ended up being business strategy. And then I just added transformation to the mix because I saw that it was such a need from working with women that what we're doing is we're taking what we have, and we have a gift and we have talent, but we just need a little more of a push and a little more development before we move into the business sector. So that's how all of this came about. I started really diving into personal development, leadership skills with women, and just found something that stuck, and then I found a hole. So what I normally talk about and teach my clients and women is that when you go in, and you talked a lot earlier about pain points, a lot of people being in pain, and some of us are really at brick walls. And I wanted to find out, why is it that we keep hitting a brick wall, especially as women, especially as women being the head of household, being the majority of breadwinners, making decisions with money and, making big decisions for our households. What happened? And I found that hole, and that's where I started to zone in on, because that ended up being more of my purpose, and it's kind of me walking into that with my own period of, just going into a dark space where I kind of lost everything, had to start all over again, and I had a big issue with, bumping into a brick wall with my own finances, and I said, I really got to study this and figure out what it is, because I've got to find my way out. And the more I started talking to women, just doing a little bit of market research, I found out that this is where we hit the brick wall as entrepreneurs with how do we get over the money hump and actually moving into the level of success that we desire. So that's where we are, and that this is where it has grown and will continue to grow at this time.
Well, that's amazing, but I want to step back a little bit because, of course, everybody have their own story, but we can resonate with what you're saying to apply to what we're doing. I want you to tell us a little bit, because I think you did say it, but I just feel that someone needs to hear it, because I was in this situation. When I went from 6 figures to zero in one day, that transition, what can you say that kept you going, if you will, when that transition and that major, I think Sharita Jakes called it the crossroad, when you had that crossroad to move, or the crossroad with your family. A lot of women, we have to make that decision, and we know what the statistics says now, that women are leaps and bounds in businesses. But tell us a little bit about that, because we got to make sure we have that straight so we can actually evolve and excel forward.
Yes, and I did comb over that. So I want to really hone into my own experience, and that's exactly what happened, because when I left corporate, that's when really, literally, this wasn't a story of having it and it's just things. It was a situation literally for me where the bottom fell out. Everything was fine, and then the bottom fell out. So when the funds, when there were no more funds and everything was exasperated, I had to make a choice on what I was going to do. So it really wasn't where I just immediately bounced back. It actually took me about 4 years to really turn things around, or really just kind of get to a point where I was at a bottom point where I just said, I'm just kind of fed up and I can't do this anymore, because I'll share this, and I want to share this with the listeners, because what I found in going through this transition was that I ended up being in a spiritual warfare, and that's what God revealed to me, that I was in a spiritual warfare, and it was a major attack, but I was fighting this battle the wrong way. And I'm going to say that could have been what has taken me so long to come out of it, because I was fighting in the natural, and it wasn't a natural battle. It wasn't a physical battle. And, I experienced all type of emotions where I'm just, going from anger to hurt to disappointment, where I'm asking for things and, prayers haven't been answered, and I'm still not moving. I'm in a space of being stuck, and what do I do? So that moment of transition or crossroads, as you're asking, really came from a point of surrender, where I had to make a decision that I'm tired, I can't fight this anymore, and I have to find out what it is I need to do to move forward. So that means maybe I need to listen more, maybe I need to read more, maybe I need to study more, maybe I just need to sit still a bit more. And I'll tell you, because my mind was always going, I was caught up in a spirit of busyness so much so that I didn't have to think about what I was dealing with. And I stayed in that space for about 4 years, about 4.5 years. And then when I got quiet, that's when all the answers started coming in. And I thought I was being quiet before, but I really wasn't. I was just so busy trying to tune everything out because I was so angry, because I was just saying, I don't understand why. I don't understand why. It's not why me, but I guess I just said I can't get out. Everything I know to do I have done, and it hasn't worked. So that means there's something else there. And at that point, that's what a crossroad was for me. Surrendering to, let me try this a different way. Let me try it his way and listen, and then start taking the steps to get myself out. And that really came from standing on promises that I can move these mountains, mountains of debt, mountains of disappointment, anger, fear, just hiding and not wanting people to know that I'm going through something like this, because I've never been through something like this before, but I had to find my way and fight my way out. But I had to learn to fight the battle the spiritual way, the right way. And it was less traumatic, I would say. It was less traumatic, but I learned something. And I learned that, and it sounds so funny when I say this, but, I've actually embraced it. I've embraced the entire time that I went through this hard time in my life, because as you said in the beginning, as you opened up, everything we're going through is for someone else. And if I'm not willing to go through, then I can't help the next person. I can't be a shoulder for someone else. And that's just the way it works. And when it works with success and rebuilding, you've got to be broken. And that's why I like the term, gracefully broken, because I had to be broken. And that's where I was. And that's what that crossroad point was for me.
That's amazing. The great thing that you actually said, that the awareness, but I'm trying to think who said this, because I like to give people their prop, and I just heard it this past weekend, that someone said when you go into entrepreneurship, or is that your goal, aspiring to be in it, emotions come out that you have never experienced before, because you're in a whole new arena, she said, and then it's a whole new, you're going from scratch pretty much, a lot of people. You may have, money somewhere else that's feeding in, or you may not have any, but a lot of emotions come out because you're in a major challenge. And I said, well, I wish somebody would have told me that when I did that, because I really thought, and ladies and gentlemen, be transparent, I thought I was losing my mind. I really did.
Oh, absolutely.
And I said, well, I didn't think I would. Let me tell you, I even went to the doctor. I said, okay, look, you need to diagnose me with something. And then I even went to my apostle and said, okay, I need a deliverance. They said, you don't need no deliverance. It's your normal, what you need to go through, okay?
That's right. And it's only one road. It's only one way.
You got to go through a little bit. You got to go through something. Yes. Actually, I think Paula White said this one, that if you have a leader that really hadn't gone through anything, kind of watch out for their leadership. She said that a long time ago, and I remember. But Kim, tell us this though. I love the journey, and of course, my writing hat and my publishing hat is on. I said, wait a minute, that needs to be a book.
That's right.
Woo! But you know, it's with the statistics saying, I think I referred to it a little bit, the statistics saying that women are loose and bound going into business.
Yes.
And I see that you do so much on social media and your website and all that to help women. Tell us what structure you have that you do that in, because, you know, I know somebody listening right now, and they saying, wait a minute, she said she went through all this and she got a successful business. She is sounding very confident and she actually feeling amazing. I think I need to contact her. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you actually, you know, empire and really, you know, get women that they soul and their life is actually becomes a, you know, the amazing framework of how they actually carry out their business.
And that's a great question, because I feel that the structure and model that I utilize is really a bit different, because, you know, I usually, if you see me on social media, you'll see me use the term unbound, because from my darkest moment, that's where the purpose came up for Unbound, because it's experiencing freedom on a new level in life and business. So what I start out with is basically what I consider soulful success, and that came from my own period of being stuck in business and not having the clientele, not having the money coming in and things like that. And it was because I wasn't aligned with the work. So I started out, and some of us do, you know, we kind of mirror and see what's happening. How can I assist? What can I do? And I'm writing stuff for me, but it may not necessarily be my experience. You know, it may not be everyone else's experience. So I start really with a foundational structure. I'm so glad you asked me that, because that's really where we start. You know, I don't really teach as far as starting a business, because you can do that. I want to be able to serve you at a point where you have it, but give you what my specialty is, and that's setting a foundation for you so that when you do hit that brick wall, because it is going to happen, you have some foundational structure to say, okay, well, I'm here at this point now, but let me go back to the beginning of what I've learned and how to structure and build a foundation for our business so that I can bounce out and create other levels of revenue while I'm trying to walk through, you know, while I'm trying to go through this brick wall here. So when I speak with women, it's usually by phone conference. I do have a boot camp experience. I usually am moving into more of group coaching as well, VIP, and actually retreats, which I've just added, and that's coming up at the end of this year. But when I work with women and speak with women, we are really starting from literally almost ground zero. I do work with women that are already in business to see, you know, they may be stuck to say, well, what can I do to move? And I have just the ability to come in and take the gift that you have and show you how to monetize it. And that's exactly what that is. So building different streams of revenue, going in and showing you something that you may not have seen before, but it's there. And sometimes you need a second pair of eyes and someone who's on the outside to say, I see this vision for you that you may not see, and I know that you can get there, and I can show you how to do that. So that is where I start. We pretty much build a foundation, a springboard, and then we go from there. But in transformation, what I have to do first, because I always say this, I can give you a strategy, but if there are blocks there, if you don't really believe that it can happen for you, then it's a waste, because you won't utilize it. And where that break is figuring out who you say you are, what do you want to do, what do you do well, and how can you take what you have and monetize it and really reach people, but also transforming yourself, because the entrepreneurial journey is really so much more of mindset work and personal development that we've got to clear that out first. Then I can give you the strategy, and then you can be free, and then you can move.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because and I cannot think of who said that, and that is so true, that all those emotions come out because and you know, I thought myself being in the anesthesia field, I'm like, how more stressed I can be, amen? But things come out that because let me say this just real quick, and I think I've said this before, ladies and gentlemen. You know, being in the medical field, I shake a patient's hand, introduce myself, and, you know, I listen to the heart and lungs, get the history, da-da-da. I have met patients in 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then in trauma, you don't even need them at all because it's an emergency. They unconscious, with the breathing tube in or something like that. And knock on wood, 18 years, I have not had a patient say they don't want me to do their anesthesia. But the shocking thing when I'm doing the things I'm doing now, and I call this my corporate America because medical field it's not the same. I call what I'm doing now almost corporate America from what I hear people say that's been in corporate America. And the reason I'm saying that is because I have clients now, y'all not going to believe it, and you may have experienced this yourself. They have watched me for 4 years, and I said 4 years, amen, then they'll buy products. And I know you have to build that like, trust, and I understand that. But I can actually tell, Kim, tell us about that because I can kind of sense, but, of course, this is, my journey, that I have gotten seasoned, that I can tell if someone resonates with me, guess what, or not. And then sometimes I have been, can I be transparent? Like the kids say, keep one up. Sometimes I have made a mistake, but the key in all of this is we need to make a move. So talk to us about that because I get that question all the time. Of how do you actually get a coach? I mean, how do you resonate with them and all that type of stuff?
Well, and that that's such an excellent question because it goes back to, I'm going to say two things that I think that come to mind. It comes with alignment because as you have a lot of coaches, and in my niche, there's so many business coaches. That's why I really label myself as far as if you could call it a label, but my work is more, my sweet spot is more business strategy because there's so many choices. How do you choose? And I would say it really has to be who you are aligned with, and relationship is so key. First impressions. What do you sound like on the phone? What can you share with me? Maybe my journey identifies with your journey. So those are the things that you take into account. Okay, she knows what it's like to be let go from a job. She knows what it's like to be starting over, and maybe you want to get your first client if you don't have your first set of receipts, so to speak, to show. And I'm actually going to be writing about that, helping women who are really just sitting in the seat shaking because they're saying, well, I don't have this experience. I don't have this. Where do I go from here? And that's what goes into how you decide to pick a coach. How are you resonating with them? What kind of relationship are they building with you? You'll know because they really have an intention to serve, and they have a more or less not only an intention but a heart to serve. And see, that's something that you really can't put into words because after you speak with me or after you speak with someone on the phone, you'll be able to make a decision. Once you have that conversation and you know where we want to go, what direction I want to take you in, you will be able to make a decision that this is the person that I want to work with. It doesn't matter about dollar amounts and all of those things that we see so much on social media. I think people kind of get tired of that. They want to know what is it really going to take. And I think that what it takes is reaching out to people, being a person where you want to see people up close and personal outside of social media, outside of lives and things like that, where we can just really have a conversation. How can we support you? There's a group of us. There's some beautiful souls out here that are here and available to help you. We are here to serve. We have shown up to support you in this particular journey in your life. So you have to make that decision. And what that means is you got to connect with us. You got to resonate with us. You've got to see me being authentic, as you mentioned earlier, being myself, to say this is a person that I know I can let my guard down with and that I don't feel intimidated by. Because you'll be surprised at so many emotions and so many things that people deal with when they're selecting a coach. That's an instant turn on. And if I come across as maybe too arrogant or maybe my confidence may be a little bit higher than what, it changes things because now I'm not quite there yet, but I know I want to work with you, but I just don't know. So it's just a way that you learn. And that's another thing. When you're starting the entrepreneur journey, you've got to know how to deal and handle people because you're dealing with all different personalities. So those are some of the things that I talk about and we work through with how you're going to handle this. You got to be ready to handle this because you're going to be dealing with the public. You're dealing with people. You're putting yourself out there. So that is what I would suggest. And those are just some tools and some tips, that I would suggest that, you got to make sure it's aligned. If it's not aligned with you, if I'm not aligned with you, even with my coaches, if I'm not aligned, the money factor, the influence, it still doesn't resonate. And I'll tell you where that comes from. Being secure enough in yourself to know that what you have is golden. I have a level of confidence that if I can't do it right now, I'll do it when it's time because I know what I have. And that's something that the world didn't give me, and they can't take it away from me. And no one can teach it the way I can teach it. No one can coach it the way I can. And that's not arrogance, but that's just being very confident. And that's what a lot of us struggle with. And that's what people want to see. They want to see that you're very confident. I'm very impressed with you. That's what I look for. I want to be impressed with you all the way around to say that is somebody that I want to emulate in business. As far as tools and how you handle yourself, personality, all of those things play a factor.
Yeah, you own that. Amen. I really agree with that. But, time goes by so quickly here. We don't have to get you back, Kim. You have so much wealth of information. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do, right? You need to actually get in contact with Kim. But do this, Kim, for a minute. Speak out of your heart if someone's listening right now, because one thing I have noticed, I said a little bit in the opening about what I had to learn, but what I really had to learn also is about self-care. And I had to really re-love myself because you know what? You have to be your own cheerleader, okay? But talk to us from your heart in regards of, taking that step. I know Steve Harvey said, take that jump or that leap or, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King used to say, take that first step and then don't worry about the stairwell case. But do us a favor and speak from your heart and so we can make that step as soon as we get off of here, before we even log on, that we can go to a website, which is yours, how we get in touch with you, that we can actually get help, mentorship, coaching, that we can move forward. And when you finish that, please don't hesitate to tell us how we can contact you and support you on social media as well.
Thank you so much. Okay, and I will give that information. Thank you so much for, the questions, the thought-provoking questions. They're really, really good, and they have brought a lot out of me and just kind of solidify the things that I'm doing. One of the things I really want to say that's truly from the heart, especially when we talk about soulful success, it starts with having a successful life first. So we all certainly want to be in business. I know you're out there. You're ready to get going. You want to move forward. But when you get ready to move forward, here's something that I want you to think about and consider. Here's something that's going to make you move forward. There's something in you that's going to stand up in you, and it's going to command movement. And when you get to that space, you'll probably deny it a few times and kind of walk away and get fearful and things like that. But there's going to come a time where there's just a churning in your spirit. And what that is your soul is now standing up to you to say, it is time. It is time for you to do this, because what you have in you, your purpose, your plan, what you have, your vision and your goal, is bigger than you. And because you can't see it right now, you're afraid of it. And we're saying, I don't know if I should take that step because I don't have everything together. But all you're being asked of is to stand up, because you've actually already been given everything. You've been given everything you need. It's just a matter of you standing up and taking your position to where you are. So when your soul begins to stand up, it's going to stand up to you, and it's going to let you know that it's time for you to move now. And there won't be anything else for you to do but move, because it'll be such a heaviness on you that if you don't move, this is something that you can lose, because you are the answer to someone's prayer. Someone is waiting for you to show up. It would be irresponsible of you not to show up at this time when your inner spirit is calling you to stand at this time, because you've been dormant long enough. So now is the time for you to stand up and watch everything start coming together. only thing you have to do is stand. You're not asked to do this all alone. You weren't designed to do it all alone, but the gift was given to you for such a time as this. And I truly believe we're in a space where, I always say it's the season of the woman right now. God is doing some amazing things in our lives, and he is calling us to stand. And that soul and that spirit is stronger, and it will pull you into a new space and a new dimension and begin to prepare you. The only way you're going to get to where you're going is to go through the steps so that you can get from dimension to dimension, because you got to be prepared before you go there. You got to be able to stand when you get to a certain level. Dr. Renee said we are our biggest cheerleader, and that's so true, because as you ascend, it gets quieter and quieter. It just gets more quiet, and it's just you and that soul and that inner God, that spirit. And that's what I would encourage you to do today. Make a decision to stand. Knees knocking, buckling, however you do it. The only thing you're required to do is take that first step. And then you will be connected with those who are here to say, I have shown up to assist you at this point in your journey at this time. Once I do what I need to do in your journey, then you move on to the next person that has been assigned to you. And that's all we're doing. We're all on assignment here, because we are here. We are raised up to help someone else on their journey. So if you want to reach out, or you have, an idea, you have a business idea, you have something that you say, I don't know what I want to do, but I know it's something I got to do, but I know I've got to be transformed. I know it's some things I got to get rid of. It's some stuff coming up for me that I never thought would come up for me from childhood, from things I've heard. I'll share with you, someone had made a comment to me about 6 or 7 years ago, and believe it or not, the phrase that they said to me was still coming up for me. Something they said, and they probably didn't even mean or have an intention for it to be negative, but that's how it appeared in my mindset. So it's just like a recorder. So it's true. Everything you hear about your conscious, subconscious is true. But I want you to make that step to say, I've got to do something different, and I know I got to do it now, and I know I'm in a shift, and I know I need to move now while I'm here. And you can reach out to me. My email address is kim@kimroderick.com. I am on social media, Facebook at Kim Roderick. Also on LinkedIn as Kim Roderick, and then on IG, which is where you'll find a lot of information. It is Kim Roderick Official. So just reach out to me. We can set up a call just to see. It wouldn't be official call that way, but it's a call so that you can get to know me and I can get to know you, and we can decide what is the best way for me to support you. My job is to come in and trigger something so that you can move to the next level, because I'm on an assignment. So you have to be ready, and that's what I do. I have to qualify you to make sure you're ready, because we're getting ready to work and we get ready to move, because it's your time, because I got to work in my purpose to help you get to yours.
That's what I'm talking about. Go on, girl. You're going to make me write 2 or 3 books tonight. You got it.
Renee, so funny.
Amen. Well, first of all, we want to thank you so much, as you just said, for being in your purpose. And thank you so much for taking time out and being a guest here at Good Deeds. If you need us for anything, please don't hesitate to contact us.
I certainly would. Thank you so much, Dr. Renee and team. Thank you all so much for having me. Thank you for giving me a platform just to share what I'm doing and the services. Everything you're doing is so awesome. So when we get ready to write the book, I know what publishing company I'm coming to. I'm going to come back to you. So thank you so much, Dr. Renee.
Nice. Thank you.
I certainly will. You're welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're ready for the replay, because she dropped a lot of nuggets that, I'm going to go back and make my notes too, because I couldn't write them all. I was writing over here. But, the great thing about it is you need to be in your purpose, because guess what? I can't be in my purpose unless you be in yours. We're going to work together. It's called all these places coming up, co-working place. This is a co-purpose. Okay, I made a new word up. Lord have mercy. But really, we'll have this replay up shortly. If you want to advertise with us, your products and services, we do have that available on the radio, TV, and also the magazine. If you're a writer, You can write for the magazine. We have different topics, but in general, it's motivation, inspiration, live your best life. We have recipes. We have wisdom, business section. We have all of that. So if you want to actually be featured or you have a nonprofit, we do that as well. And we, of course, like I said, we'll get your products out there because we got to be seen, be heard, and get paid. You know I was going to put that somewhere. Amen. That's my signature talk. And for the new people, that's my signature talk that I do in regards to being a platform builder. But also, if you want to launch your own radio show, podcast, or you want your own magazine, guess what? We can coach you for that. You see what I'm getting at? If you want me to actually come out and electrify your audience as the MC, speaker, you know I can bring that word too, okay? It's not about me. It's all about doing his will, right? So we can actually do that. Go to our website. All that information is there about my journey, the things that I've been through is right there on the website now, okay? A whole scenario of what I've been through, amen? Been through. You see what I'm getting at? But the website is www.renee, R-E-N-E-E, Sunday, S-U-N-D-A-Y. And also the great plug that Kim did, our publishing company. We take a submission, you know? We take a submissions, you know, in regards to self-help books, motivational books, stage plays, poetry, even if you want journals or devotionals, you got to get it. And actually, I'm working on 2 children's books. Yeah, that's a Sunday and children's book. But, you know, I had to do a pen name, so that's a business. I didn't use my name as Renee Sunday or Dr. Renee. We used the pen name. But we can have a conversation and you want to know why I did that. But I always remember, you do have a calling. You do have a reason you were born. You're not a mistake. You know, I had to say it loud. No matter what somebody's told you or what you're thinking in your mind. Kim ain't got us straight now, so you got to rewind and get that back. You got to say this over and over. We got to do 3 things. We got to believe. We got to trust. We got to walk that thing out. And we got to, say it with me, we got to don't stop. We got to get it. And you know what we got to get. We got to get our purpose and get our purpose now. We love you here at Good Deeds. If we can help you with anything, please contact us. I'm going to tell you real quickly if I can do it or not, but we're going to find somebody on our good friend Google that actually can help you. But we're going to make sure they going to help you and support you, not, okay, you know what I'm going, okay. But, you know, we love you here at Good Deeds. You know, we'll see you shortly, okay? You know, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
I see you looking at the sweaters. Anything I can help with?
I'm liking this one. What can you tell me about the material?
That's an amazing blend. It's 35% cashmere, 30% wool, 20% poly, and 15% cash back.
Oh, I like that.
When you shop with Retail Me Not, you find money everywhere. Coupons, deals, cash back on everything, like cosmetics, travel, restaurants, and clothing, at your favorite places like Best Buy, Kohl's, and Macy's. It's kind of a big deal. Visit the site or get the app. Retail Me Not, yours for the saving.